Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today is just a regular get ready with me, kind of feel it out, see what happens kind of makeup look. I feel like that's probably every video, but let's be real, that's how it is for us on a day-to-day basis. We just kind of sit down or stand wherever we do our makeup, and we just kind of take it as it goes. So yeah, let's get into it. I actually received this sample. I ordered, what did I order? I think I ordered 2 different foundations because I'm a foundationaholic. Right here, first to admit it, admitting it is the first step. Anyway, and they gave me a sample of this Burberry Fresh Glow. It's a luminous fluid base, and basically with this, you can wear it either alone, you can put it on top of foundation, underneath it. I'm beginning to think it's probably more like a strobe cream from MAC, but I really like it, and this is the Nude Radiance in #1, so I don't know if it's meant to be like a foundation or what, but I've been using it just like as a base. So I put this on top of my skincare, but before I put foundation on. So we have a little bit left, but I wish all samples came in like a bottle form, because I feel like these little packets always have more product in them for like 2 or 3 uses, but a lot of times people just use it once and throw it away because they don't want to, you know, receive it or find a Ziploc. I try to keep Ziplocs handy and just pop it in a Ziploc, but you know it's not the same once it's open like that and open to air. So it'd be really cool if more samples came like this. And yes, I'm chewing gum in this tutorial, guys. Sorry if that bothers you. If I chew like a cow, I don't really care. But I'm a New Yorker by heart, and we chew a lot of gum. So it's just how it is. All right. Anyway, I wanted to pop out my Flawless Fusion from Laura Mercier today, and my skin has changed. Obviously, I'm not quite as fair, so I'm going to pop a little bit of this sample of 3N1 with my usual color is 2N1 Cashew, but hopefully this will deepen it. And then I actually have, I'm going to put a little bit of 330 Bisque from Lancome Tinny Dole as well. You guys know I like to mix. It's my favorite thing to do. And this is nice and deep, this color, so it tends to like pull the foundation where I want it to go. And I'm actually just gonna beauty blend this in today, at least for this part, and then I'll probably use a brush on my neck, but been really into just kind of blending it away. And this foundation is great, the Flawless Fusion. I really like it a lot. I do think it could have a little bit more coverage, tad more coverage would be great, instead of having it be more of a medium buildable, because I think it really has the potential to be a great long wear, full coverage foundation. But it does, you know, it does sheer out once you start to apply it, and I do find that you need, if you want full coverage, you need to layer it. But I do really love the weight of this foundation. It's super light, and it just feels really good on the skin. It doesn't feel very heavy, and I think it's a great option for the summertime when you want to have something that's long wear, but you don't want to feel the heavy thickness. It's not thick like, say, like an IT Cosmetics CC cream or any type of like stick foundations. I love the Huda Beauty, but it's very thick and heavy feeling, so this is going to be very different. However, it is a very mattifying finish, and it dries down rather quickly, so I definitely suggest good skincare with this foundation and working quicker. Don't, you know, you can't just be like do-do-do. You have to actually like really work it in, because it does dry down. So I'm just taking an e.l.f. brush. This is the Flawless Face, and just kind of taking this and just kind of buffing in the rest of the foundation that was on my hand. And I'm just doing it. It looks like I'm pushing hard, but it's feather light, you guys. I'm really not even pushing this into my skin. I just want to kind of blur and blend it out, especially like down in the chest area, because I don't want a whole lot of placement of foundation there, but I want to just get rid of anything that could be look like streaky. I want to diffuse any kind of lines. Gonna grab my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define, and also a little bit of my Kylie Cosmetics. Always put my Kylie like right in the corners and right where my skin is kind of black and blue a little bit and dark naturally, because this has a really pretty peach undertone, and I feel like it really helps to get rid of that darkness. And then of course my Makeup Revolution I just love for brightening and for more coverage, because I think, honestly, I think this Makeup Revolution has more coverage than the Kylie concealer. It's crazy. We're just having fun with our booty blender. Fix Plus a little bit just to loosen it up. Dying to try that new, it almost looks like a sapphire blue beauty blender. I just love the color. And granted, you know, that's the whole thing with them. I fall in love with like these crazy colors that they're doing lately, but you know it ain't gonna stay that color. Even if you buy yourself the beauty cleanser, the blender cleanser, whatever, I don't know. I use it so much that my beauty blender just stays stained. And if I have a client, I always have to go out and buy new ones because I just can't, I can't really reuse them. I use them so much, and I use it for like everything. Okay, so I think I like this. It's covered a little bit, but it's still kind of light. I'm gonna take a little bit more of this Makeup Revolution and just put a little bit on my cheekbones here. A little more on the tip of my nose and right here at the Cupid's bow. And just go ahead and blend that in real quick. So excited. I'm gonna be hopefully traveling home in September. So far so good. You never know, because things happen, things can come up, but I'm excited to go home and be with family and friends. I miss the North a lot, and I don't know, I just miss family. I'm really big on spending time with my family, and I don't really get to see enough of everybody. And because I live so far from the majority of my family, I miss, you know, different events, birthdays, communions, confirmations. I mean, I miss it all, and I hate it because I can't obviously, you know, drive up or fly up for every event, and it's hard. You know, you miss out on a lot of things that way. So anytime I can get home for a little bit, I just feel so at peace. I feel more myself. I feel like people get me there. I don't know, it's your roots, you know? Set this baby. Yeah, I'm going in today with the setting, because if it storms, because like right now it's threatening to storm, but it's also like 100 degrees on top of it, so I'll mess around with this. I always find it funny when people are like, how do you keep all that makeup on living in such, you know, a tropical hot climate, basically? And I laugh because I'm just like, you would think less is more when it comes to like the heat and makeup and not having it like slide and slick all over your face, but honestly, more is more. The more powder, the more baking, it stays, honey. It stays. More is more today. All right. Normally I'm like, less is more. You know, don't go crazy. No, go crazy. Okay. Take that baking powder and just bake you a cake on your face, guys. and that shit is gonna stay in place. It's not gonna move. And you're gonna thank me later. All right, let's move into eye makeup, and we're gonna of course use this MorphexJaclynhill palette because it's the best, and I'm also gonna use my Morphe 9C Jewel Crew palette today. And we're gonna start with these two little frosted white, like an off-white and a little bit more of a beige white, and work those all over with an A12 by Anastasia. The usual, I should say, because these are like my usual prime shades. So today's looks a little more peanut butter jelly, so I want to keep the colors fairly warmer. So going into this here, I'm going to take this color here to begin our transition. Really wish there was names on these colors, because then I wouldn't have to be like so descriptive. I'm terrible at describing it, but like, you guys know, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, just working this on an A12, kind of brushing it onto the lid as well, but focusing most of the color in the crease. Now, moving down a little further, we're going to take this color here. Yeah, is that the color I want? Actually, no. Let's go from here to here and add a little like pop of almost like a golden yellow color. Change it up. I'm still using the A12, guys, for this. So I want this really smoky and diffused. I don't want a whole lot of placement. I just want these colors to kind of layer and build together. Now we're gonna drop down in brush size. We're gonna go to a Morphe MB23, and I'm gonna start working with this color Stone Fox in the Jewel palette. And if you don't know, it's this kind of orangey color here. It's kind of like the standard warm palette now, this orange. I feel like it's in every palette. I feel like it started with like Modern Renaissance, and it just worked its way into like Juvia's Place and Morphe and Urban Decay palettes and Too Faced. Like, it's just, I almost feel like Anastasia started the craze. Maybe it's just me, but I do love it. I think it's a beautiful transition color, and I think it's just pretty on pretty much all skin tones. It's one of those colors that just looks different on everybody. Now, one thing I've been doing with my crease color, maybe you guys noticed, maybe you didn't, but I kind of start on the outside corner, work my way in, and I've been bringing it a little bit more tapered onto the inside corners just to kind of narrow my nose down, but also kind of following the shape of my crease. So it's kind of like a wave. You guys get that? Instead of just doing the straight and circles, I do that as well, but I try to do it with my eye open so that it naturally follows the shape of my eye, and it gives it like a slight curve. I don't know, I really like the way it blends it. I like the finish of it and how it just kind of pops, because as you get older, the skin sags, so it's better to keep your eyes open and just look down and work with color, and also get in there a little bit straighter with your brush and more directly to get like the true crease. And then also you can tilt to exaggerate the crease. Now going down into another brush, the 441, a little bit flatter. We're gonna go into Rich Girl, cause it's a bitch girl. Another pretty plummy kind of grape tone. Like, I can't explain it, guys. It's like jelly, all right? It's basically like jelly. And that's what we're doing. Peanut butter and jelly. And we're doing the same thing, but starting more on the outside with this and working it into the inside corner. And be very sparing with this color because it does have a lot of color pop and payoff to it. But I love just, I don't know, the accent that it gives to the look. Now we're gonna go into just a clean BH Cosmetics brush. Just double check and make sure it's actually clean. But we're gonna go into that and just kind of blend these colors together. I'm not putting any additional color on right now. I just kind of wanna soften what we have already in the crease. Take a step back, see where you might need a little more color. I'm gonna go back into that Morphe MB23 and go back into a little bit of Stone Fox, which is that really pretty warm orange, that kind of burnt orange color, and just pop a little bit of that back into the crease just to add some more warmth. Tone down a little bit of the purple. Thought about doing a purple eyelid, but then I was like, you know what? This is more of just like my everyday go-to. So yeah, let's pop into Fool's Gold, which is also in this palette, and it's just a really pretty true gold. And I'm actually gonna use my fingertip, my ring finger, to try to pop up this color on the lid. I like this because it's really a true gold. It's a goldy gold, okay? I don't know if that's a word. I'm making it up. It's a goldy gold. It has very little orange to it because you know how some of them have a lot of copper in them and it's gold, but it has more of a copper reflective finish. This is more of a true like 24 karat magic in the air gold. So I don't know. I really like this. It's a pretty color. And I like working with my finger because I feel like it really gets the pigment in there. Now, I've been really into working with my Laura Mercier Addiction highlighter. I love the color of this. This is really a beautiful yellow gold, and this is more your true rich 24 karat, but this is definitely more of your champagne yellow gold, and I love the way it reflects with a rich gold. So we're going to take a little bit of this on any type of flat synthetic brush. You can spray a little bit of Fix or anything you have. And we're just going to run this into the highlighter and pop this on the inside corner. And because it's so like champagne yellow gold, it actually really reflects nicely on the inside corner. And it kind of adds a little bit of dimension in the gold that you have on your lid. So I've been using that a lot just to kind of offset the gold on the lid. You can even take a little bit on your finger too and just press it into the center for an extra pop of gold. And I don't know, it's just like really pretty. I love it. I love this color. Now that we have that, I actually want to go in and just do a little more definition in the crease. So I'm going to drop down to an M514 from Morphe and pop it into Hidden Gem, which is a really pretty raisin. And then back into Rich Girl to give it a little bit more purple. Blend the two on the back of your hand, on a tissue. Tap it out. And because this is a smaller brush, it really goes in beautifully to help to define the crease. And I like to do this after I put the gold on, so that this way I can kind of redefine it, because sometimes when you work with a lid color, you almost lose that crease color a little bit. So this goes back in and just gives it a little bit more definition. And last but not least, go back into the Anastasia 812. You guys know I like to do this at the very end. And we're going to go back into this lighter kind of orange color, orange yellow, and a little bit into that taupe color. Mesh them together. and really just work it into the back of your hand in a tissue. You don't want a lot of color with this, just enough to go in and be able to kind of buff the colors together and to buff them down a little bit. All right, so let's go in and just clean up a little bit of this fallout under the eyes. I actually like this palette a lot. I don't get too much fallout with the JaclynHill and the Jewel palette from Morphe. I love Anastasia and Huda Beauty, but I get a lot of fallout with their colors. And I get great color too. I mean, don't get me wrong, the actual like pigment is gorgeous, but there's just so much fallout. Okay, now somebody that I love dearly, one of my good friends and followers, actually asked me like about an everyday look that you can do to basically wear but not have to worry so much about a liquid eyeliner, because you know liquid eyeliner can be very intimidating and not everybody has the most steady hand or the time to practice it enough, or even wants to be bothered. Don't get me wrong, I love my liquid liner, but some days I just don't give a you know what. So with something like this, you have enough definition in your crease and you have enough on your lid that you could go ahead and curl your lashes, put on mascara, and call it a day. I, however, am going to put on a liquid liner because your girl is extra, always. And I'm actually going to do a liquid liner and then top it with Black Ebony Cake Liner from Laura Mercier. Usually this is more for tight lining, which means on the inside rim. But I like to set my liquid eyeliner with it sometimes. I feel like it just gives me a really sexy, sultry finish. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that really quick off camera, and then I will be back. Okay guys, so my eyebrows are on and the liner is on and set. Like I said, you don't have to do this step if you want to keep it like fun and glowy and pretty, but just every day. This is a little bit more evening, but this is something that, you know, us extra girls wear every single day. So moving onward, I'm gonna go into my contour. You guys know it's my Revolution HD contour palette, Hitting Pan. I love this so much. Can't wait to get another one because it really is worth it, especially when you want to stick to a budget but you want a high quality product. So gonna fast forward. You guys know my routine, and if you don't, just look at my other videos. Okay guys, so one thing that I've been doing lately is actually going in with just a regular fluffy brush, angled brush, whatever you like. This is a Morphe B78, and just going in and making sure that I kind of just touch the top layer and just graze it a little bit and blend it. You don't have to do this step, but I like to do this just to instill that the contour is there, but it's a little bit blended out and we're not seeing any type of disconnection with the makeup. So really quickly, I want to take a little bit of my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish and just take this on a BH brush and gently tap this in and around my eyes, like under the eye, on the sides of my nose. I know it feels like a lot, but honestly, you guys, when you have the right products and you layer them the right way and you do it kind of very lightly, very gently, it really doesn't feel like much. And I know it looks like much, but I don't feel heaviness on my skin. Now we're gonna kick it up a notch, as Emerald Lagasse says. Take an angled sponge, any kind of sponge really, or a brush, and we're gonna mix these two lighter colors from the highlight palette and make a neutral powder highlight. Some people like to glow to the gods every single day. And I like to glow, definitely, but I also like to brighten, and I find that this is a great way to brighten, but also keep it softer, your highlight. Now I'm gonna warm up my cheeks even further. I'm gonna take this fluffy brush from BH and my trusty butter bronzer from Physicians Formula. Super affordable, super pigmented, smells incredible, and it layers beautifully.
Hello, world.
Blush today is going to be my Blush Satil Blushing Tresor from Lancome. This is a sample I received in a gift, and it has lasted forever, and I love it because it has these like beautiful flecks of gold in it. So it gives you that look of like almost like a highlighted finish without looking super, super glitter and frosty. But it looks like such a soft wash of color, almost like you have a little flush, maybe you had a glass of wine, maybe you were sitting, you know, watching the sunset on the beach, and you have a few beads of sweat and some trickles and glow, and I just love the finish of it. All right, so before I go ahead and do my mascara, I want to give myself a little refresher, so I'm gonna take my MAC Fix Plus in Pinklite. Okay, let's be real, that was anything but a little Fix Plus. That was a lot, but you know, girls gotta glow. All right, so I'm gonna take a little bit of the Laura Mercier Addiction Illuminator and just grab a little bit on my finger here and just kind of dab it on the tip of the nose. Right at the top of the bridge of my nose too, and on the Cupid's bow. I really don't want it on my cheekbones just because I do have a powder highlight, but I want a little bit of glow, and this just kind of slims down the nose, makes it a little more narrow, and I like that. Also just gonna take a little contour powder and dust it on the tip of my nose. I'm gonna do my mascara really quickly, guys. Okay, so mascara is on and set. Lips today are going to be very natural, literally natural lip liner from NYX Cosmetics, NYX Professional Cosmetics, I don't know what they're called. Anyway, down to the nitty gritty, this is one of my favorite lip liners, and I wanna keep them pretty nude and glowy today. I'm gonna take my favorite Velour matte from Laura Mercier in the color Vibe, and we're just going to gently put this on top of that liner. Okay guys, so this is the finished look, and I am feeling pretty fly. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that you learned a thing or two, and if you guys want to share anything with me, then comment down below. I love feedback, love hearing from people. Reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, wherever you can find me. My information is always down below. And if you haven't already, go get you some Flawless Fusion. I heard they just released some new shades, and I think that it's about time. It's time for us to start catering to more and more skin tones, different undertones, which is a big thing because we're not all built the same way and we all don't fit into one particular mold. But I do really love this foundation. It is a little bit bougie, but I think it is worth the price. Also, of course, your Lancome Tenny Dole. You guys know that I love that. And I actually really love it. It's a great mix-in formula. And of course, you guys know my Morphe palettes. Big fan of that. Check them out. I'll link the honorable mentions down below. Give this a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and until next time. So makeup is set. I am out to conquer the world. No, I'm just going to Walmart, guys. Let's be real.